I am unsure who needs to hear this right now, but if you found this video, imagine a life where your energy is not being scattered in so many different directions. Imagine a life when you can set the intention to come back to the things that are most important to you and to wake up every morning being defined by the vision of the future, which is that one thing. In today's video, you will learn why it's so important not to scatter your attention and energy into so many different areas and to come back to what's most important to you. You will learn the gift that we all have, which is the power of focusing on one thing. And so before I even get into this video, you guys, I just wanted to share with you guys on how this idea was being brought. So earlier today, I was just trying to figure out what kind of content I wanted to share with you guys and what resonated with me on a deep level. And as I was just figuring out what I wanted to talk about, I just remember very clearly about the power of focusing on one thing. The power of focusing on just one thing, reclaiming our attention. That it's not being manipulated by external environment. I don't know if you guys watch The Social Dilemma, but there's a lot of these big tech companies that invested billions of dollars to get you addicted to their apps, and they're very conscious of it, but yet at the same time they just still do it. And so I just wanted to come on here. My mic's not on, I realize, but I realized that when I was trying to figure out what kind of video I wanted to talk to with you guys, I remember very clearly about the power of the one thing, on how much it transformed my life. And I was just trying to figure out what story that I can just share with you guys that I can resonate with whoever's watching this. And when I first started doing, this personal growth path, or this spiritual path back in 2019, I remember getting my foot into the door of this, this industry, this world of personal growth. And I remember seeing all these teachers and these gurus and what they were sharing, and I was just so mesmerized by all this abundant information that they were sharing with me. And I was learning from all these different teachers and these coaches and these gurus, in a sense, and all these different scientists that just had their own perspective, their own way about seeing life and tackling life. And I remember 6 months into learning a lot about personal growth, I was just so fed up with myself because I realized that I wasn't focusing on one thing. I was just trying to gain so much different perspectives that I wasn't fully immersed with just one person's experience, one person's teaching on how they saw life and how it helped them. I was just trying to gather as much information, almost like being an octopus, just trying to use all its tentacles to gather and soak up as much information, yet at the same time I realized I was getting nowhere. And you guys are probably wondering why I'm telling you guys this, and it's because the greatest skill you will ever learn that will truly transform your life is being able to focus on one thing. One thing. And when I realized that I was scattering my attention on all these different teachers, I realized that I wanted to just focus on one person. I remember asking the universe, hey, help me focus on one person that resonates with me deeply. One person. And when it came through an ad, funny enough, and it was actually Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I realized oh my gosh, this is the guy that I need to focus my attention to. This was my answer. And I just went full force on just mastering his work, his meditation work, understanding how the brain and the heart and the body all work as one, and getting your mind and body working as one, and the neuroscience and the epigenetics and the quantum physics and the Newtonian physics, mind and matter, and how all of this worked. And I was just I gotta be so obsessed with this. This is my teacher. This guy, he speaks to my soul. And I just remember just having this strong urge to just master his work. Everything else, all the spiritual teachers, all the other things that I gave my attention to, I just stopped. I just focused on mastering just one person's teaching, and it's transformed my life. And I got so committed, so obsessed in 2020 with Dr. Joe Dispenza work, and it transformed my life for the better. Breaking up old habits, reinventing a new self, understanding the quantum world and how energy and frequency works, while staying balanced between 3D and 5D. It was just a transformational experience for me. And I just want to remind anyone that's watching this video, if you found this video, it's so important to focus on one thing. It's so important to focus on one thing. Because, like I said, the world that we live in, there are just so many different advertisements and companies that are battling for our attention, to take our attention on the things that are most important to us. And sometimes they'll use things that will bring a lot of fear, that will evoke fear emotions, that will get us to distract us from focusing on what's most important. They'll use immediate pleasure like Netflix, social media, all these different things, entertainment industry. There's nothing wrong with these things, by the way, but they're designed to take our attention away from the things that are most important to us. And of course, the third thing is other people's demands. Other people's demands. If we're working for something like a 9-to-5 job and it's not even a job that we even enjoy, they tend to take away our attention, our focus on the things that are most important to us. And there's just so many different things that just wants us to be manipulated and abducted and addicted to whatever they want us to, whether it's, usually sometimes it's unconscious. And when you watch, I watched the Social Dilemma the last few days with my girlfriend, and we were just blown away just by how these big tech companies spend billions of dollars just to get us addicted and using their social media in a sense. And they will use our perception and how we see ourselves and how we feel. And it's like they put so much investment into this to understand us. Like they spent so much to know us better than we know us. And it's just so crazy that the first thing we do first thing in the morning is to give our attention, our power away to social media, to look up, to be programmed into that habit of just being obsessed with our products instead of being able to think for ourselves and focus on what's most important for us. And there's studies to show that mental health is on the rise and suicide is on the rise, and even with teenage girls, that their mental health is on the rise. There's so many things that are just going beyond what we're capable of seeing, and it's not healthy. And so I just want to remind to everyone that's watching this video, it's so important to come back to the things that are most important to us, to get back to what we want to create, what the life we want, and why we want it, instead of having and allowing our external environment to control our way of thinking, our way of feeling, our way of behaving on a moment-to-moment basis. And it's so important, my friends, to set the intention to come back to us, to come back to the things that are most important to us. And how do we do that? There's journaling, there's meditation, and there's community. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals that are future-oriented. They are not defined by the external environment. And yes, there are certain things that we can utilize with social media, but we should never let social media utilize us. And it's so important, my friends, to be out here in nature, to record out here in nature. And I always want to make my videos about being out in nature, and you'll sometimes see me record in my car and stuff like that. But every time I'm in my car, I'm always looking out into nature to get ideas from nature, to get these abundant ideas to share with you. That's how important it is to me, and I always want to remind you guys to just get out into nature and to go out there and journal and meditate and just ask questions like, what's most important to me? How am I feeling? Where am I going with my life? What do I know? And it's so important, my friends, to get clear on what's most important to you. It's so important. It's so important to get back on what you want. Because there are a lot of people out there in the world that want to manipulate us to get what they want. And sometimes it's always not in the best interest of what, they want and what we want. And so this is your daily reminder. Just get back to the things that are most important. Set the intention before you get on your phone, is to get clear on what is it that you want to be, what you want to focus on, whether it's your health, your business, your content career. It could be anything, but just come back to the things that are most important to you guys. And that is the message of the day that I just want to share with you guys, and getting clarity on what is most important to you, and not scatter your attention to all these different businesses and products and companies that just want our attention to stay committed on them. Because when we give it our attention, we keep them alive. And some of these businesses and business models are not healthy, not conscious. And we have to use our discernment to focus on the things that bring the most valuable experiences in our lives, and so that we can share these experiences with others. And we must understand and learn about the seasons that we are in. Sometimes we might be in a winter season, sometimes we might be in a summer season, and sometimes we might be in a fall season, we might be in a spring season. But we must learn our season and master the season that we're in, because when we master the season that we are in, what tends to happen is that there's going to be other people that are going to need a shining light on whatever season that we went through. And we're going to be the ones that are going to help guide people and contribute in their lives on how to navigate their season. And so this is your daily reminder, just not to scatter your attention and energy in all these different directions. Come back and focus on one thing. There's power in focusing on one thing. There is power in reclaiming your focus, your attention on focusing on one thing. And one of the things that's helped me out so much is the power of meditation. Because for a moment in my life, I was focusing on all these different things in my life, whether it was my ex, whether it was my things I want to get done, all these different things that I had that was taking my attention, and all I needed to do was just break these energetic bonds between me and these external things, people, places, and things. And when I can call back my energy and utilize it back into what's most important, which is my heart and my brain, that's available energy, that's productive energy to focus on the things that are most important to you, on what you want to create. It's available energy. They're not chained up to the things that keep us constricted, to the things that keep us limited, that keep us in the known. When we can free up our energy and utilize that energy to focus on one thing, one potential, one possibility, there's so much power in that. There's so much magnificence in that, when we can focus on one thing. And there's power in that. And a lot of companies don't want us to have our focus be utilized on our fullest potential. They want us to keep us limited. They want us to keep us small. But when we can break out of that mindset, that doorway, that consciousness, and we can utilize it to connect more with God, connect more with our family, to connect more with our hearts, to understand ourselves. When we understand ourselves, we can help others understand them. And it's so important. I'm sorry if you guys hear the background noise. I know that I don't have my microphone on right now, but I hope that my message is getting to you guys. I hope that my message is getting to you guys, because it's so important to focus on what's most important to us, so that we can demonstrate the divine qualities that are embedded within our being, that are embedded within our soul. We are imprinted with divine qualities that want to be utilized and unleashed to the world. And so many external companies don't want us to experience that, because it will be a threat. It will be a threat to them. And when we start unifying as these divine qualities, and other people start awakening these divine qualities, the external companies and businesses that don't serve for the greater good, that are money driven, will see that as a threat. And when we can come together as one and we can focus on a possibility, for the better of mankind. There's just so much power in that. There's so much grace in that. There's so much potential in that. And so this is your daily reminder, my friends. Do not scatter your attention ever. Come back. There's nothing wrong with entertainment and immediate pleasure. There's nothing wrong with being, focusing on other people's demands, our families and all these different things. But it's important to come back to what's most important to us, to give the time, the energy, the attention, and intention on what's most important to us, so that we can build something. Because I think it's Buckminster Fuller. He says that don't go back into the old model and try to fix it. Create something new. Create something new, because when you create something new, people are going to realize that this model, this system, is not working. And naturally, they're going to let go of that system and they're going to focus on the things that are working, on the new model, the new system. So, this is your daily reminder, my friends, not to scatter your focus everywhere. Come back to what's most important to you. Come back to what's most important to us as a collective. Come back to that. And you have no idea, by you choosing you and by you choosing what you focus on the things that are most important to you, who it's going to impact in the future. Your kids, your children, your friends, your family, your community, who it's going to influence later on. And if you focus on the divine, imagine that. Being so connected with God and with your divine mission. You've earned that right, my friends. So focus on what's most important to you. Focus on the things that are just more valuable to you. There's just so much power in that. And there's already a video that I made earlier today, and I was just kind of free flowing and just spilling out. And I tend to do that just because I want to just share all of my thoughts, so that when it comes to the videos like this, where I want it structured, it'll just be more easier for me to communicate, more easier to deliver my message to you guys. And so, if you guys found this video, like I said, remember, do not scatter your attention all over the place. Come back, meditate, journal, and focus on what's most important to you. And ask the simple question is, what is the one thing that I can do? By doing it will ease a lot of areas of my life. Ask that simple question, what's most important to you? What's the one thing that I can do that by doing it, it will help every area of my life? And for me, it's always been meditation. And for you, it could be different. But this is your daily reminder, is to focus on one thing and utilize the power of focus. It's our greatest asset, it's our greatest gift. And yeah, that's your daily reminder, to not scatter your attention everywhere, just to focus on one powerful thing. And that's it.